That is the one and only time we're going to make reference to this car's grille. After all, you'll either love the way this new BMW 4 Series looks, or that nose will be enough to put you off the car entirely. That, ladies and gentlemen, is for you to decide. We're just here to tell you whether this car is any good in all other respects. But before we do, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Carbuyer YouTube channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. As before, the 4 Series is a two-door version of the 3 Series saloon. It's only available as a coupe to begin with, but a convertible version has been revealed and should be in showrooms in 2021. While I promised I wouldn't keep going on about that grille, it is, admittedly, one of the few things that's different about the sleeker 4 Series compared with the sensible 3 Series. Elsewhere, the lack of rear doors means the roofline dips away more quickly, but the long tailgate means there's still a decent boot, should that matter to you. And the likelihood is it will, at least to some extent. After all, if you weren't even occasionally worried about carrying people or luggage, then you'd be able to cast your net far wider in the direction of truly talented sports car rivals like the Audi TT, or better still, the Porsche 718 Cayman. The 4 Series is comfortably more practical than either of those two cars, with a big 440-litre boot, which actually is only 40 litres smaller than the supposedly bigger 3 Series saloon. But one area where the 3 Series does comfortably outperform the 4 Series is if you regularly carry people in the back. Now, I am about 6 foot tall, and I can assure you that I would not want to be clambering in, or worse still, out of the 4 Series all that often. But I can assure you that the front is much more pleasant. Right, now get out of the way, this could take some time. Up here, the 4 Series feels largely identical to the 3 Series, and much like that car's styling, that will appeal to some people and not so much to others. I mean, no one is going to complain about quality. Materials in here really are first rate, and on par with models like the larger 8 Series that cost twice the price. But the layout, whilst I suppose it was logical and cutting edge a decade ago, the design just hasn't evolved. You see Teslas with their huge central touchscreens, or Audis with their customizable instrument panels. The design in here just feels a little bit too conservative. As I said, for some, many in fact, this will be just the ticket. It's certainly classy in here, it's well finished, and the iDrive system, if you ignore the gesture control, is really easy to use. There's Apple CarPlay as standard, and for a first in a BMW, there's Android Auto too. Good news. Unlike its predecessor, the latest 4 Series comes in just one trim level called M Sport. Previously, a cheaper Sport version was also available. This does mean, however, that all models come with a really rather generous spec sheet. There is a set of gorgeous sculpted sport seats and an 8.8-inch infotainment system, which can be controlled either using the touchscreen or via the rotary controller on the centre console. Owners can connect remotely to their 4 Series with features including real-time traffic information and over-the-air software updates. Every model also gets M Sport styling and 18-inch wheels, though buyers can add the M Sport Pro package that adds features like 19-inch alloy wheels, M Sport brakes, a rear spoiler, black door mirror caps, and the choice of 3 exclusive paint colours, luxuries rather than essentials. Upgrading to the live cockpit professional setup adds a 12.3-inch digital instrument display instead of the standard 5.1-inch item, a 10.25-inch infotainment display, and a head-up display. A box we think is far more worthwhile ticking than some bigger wheels and extra paint options. Long-distance drivers may also appreciate the Driving Assistant Professional package, which uses front-facing cameras and a radar to help steer the car in its lane and follow the speed of the traffic. In a world that is edging ever closer to fully autonomous driving, it's pleasing to know that the systems in the BMW 4 Series work quite well. We've already done around 120 miles today, and those front-facing cameras, at least on motorways and dual carriageways, seem to keep the car a safe distance from the car in front without ever panicking or overreacting. It's easy to get frustrated with these systems when they don't work very well, but in the 4 Series they're really nicely integrated, and you can actually find yourself leaving them all switched on. But what about when you turn off the motorway and find yourself on your favourite twisting country road? Well, I'm pleased to report the 4 Series excels in this area. It's always been at the top of its game, and with this new model, it's absolutely no different. We'll go into a bit more detail on engine availability in a moment, but it's safe to say that even this entry-level 420i offers enough performance to make it a really enjoyable car to drive. Like every 4 Series, this model is fitted with an 8-speed automatic Steptronic gearbox. With 182 brake horsepower, the 420i will do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 7.5 seconds, but for around £4,000, buyers can upgrade to the 430i, which uses the same engine but with a good chunk more power. 255 brake horsepower to be precise. This is enough to cut 0 to 62 miles an hour to 5.8 seconds. The range-topping model uses a 3-litre 6-cylinder engine and is badged M440i xDrive, with 369 brake horsepower and 4-wheel drive. Prices jump to above £50,000, but choosing this engine makes the 4 Series feel seriously quick, hitting 62 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds, just half a second off the pace of the outgoing BMW M4. BMW refuses to ditch diesel though. Virtually mirroring the petrol offerings, the diesel range kicks off with a 420d, which is likely to remain a popular choice for high mileage drivers. It has 187 brake horsepower and an impressive 400 Nm of torque, which gets it from 0 to 62 miles an hour in 7.1 seconds. A 430d xDrive is set to arrive in 2021, and on paper it's not likely to be much slower than the 335 brake horsepower M440d. As we said, no matter which engine you go for, you're guaranteed to enjoy driving this new 4 Series. It feels playful in a way that no Audi A5 or Mercedes C-Class can, with a sophistication to the way it rides as well. It's comfortable and sporty, not 2 words you often hear in the same sentence. Better still, unless you go for one of those range-topping petrol models, you should be able to keep a lid on running costs. There's no plug-in hybrid version like there is in the 3 Series, but go for this 420i petrol and you'll see easily 40 miles to the gallon. As mentioned earlier, higher mileage drivers are better suited to the 420d diesel, which can manage over 10 miles per gallon more. While an all-electric 4 Series is very unlikely, customers looking for zero-emissions motoring will be steered towards the BMW i4, expected in 2021. A similar size but with an extra pair of doors, this model is expected to boast an 80 kWh battery, giving it an electric range of around 370 miles. The steering is sharp, the gearbox is slick, and it's refined as well. Overall, this 4 Series is just a fantastic all-rounder. Doesn't matter if you're slogging up and down the motorway, popping to the shops, or driving it for pleasure on your favourite A-road, the 4 Series just nails everyday driving. The 4 Series, no matter which engine variant you go for, is the best car in its class to drive, bar none. The big boot means you don't have to compromise when it comes to practicality. There's only one spec plus a few option packs to choose from. That means every 4 Series comes really well equipped. The rear seats are bigger and more practical than those you'll find in an Audi TT, but adult passengers won't thank you for shoehorning them into the back. There is a pure electric i4 on the way, but BMW has no plans to offer a fleet-friendly plug-in hybrid version. It seems more appropriate for us to end this review looking at the rear of the BMW 4 Series. It's the front that's getting all the attention at the moment, but as we said earlier, you'll either love it or you loathe it. That's not for us to decide. So for the sake of this conclusion, out of sight is out of mind. Regardless of styling, this is a fantastically accomplished, sporty coupe that blends almost everything we love about the 3 Series into a more desirable and almost as practical 2-door body. If you like this video, why not watch our Audi A5 review or catch up on our sports cars and coupes playlist. Stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching.